Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Joe Young and Kyle Steele continue to defile my radio show in this second installment of nonsense and fake news. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right, good timing, Kyle. You just got back in, had a seat.
I always
good to
have
go
perfect
already.
timing.
So we are back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in the studio with Kyle Steele from the Nicolas Cage Movie Review Hour podcast, and
Hello.
Joe Young from the World of Dayton Comedy.
Hello.
Going to be hosting at the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in downtown Dayton, Historic Oregon, the district this weekend.
Oh, is that where it is?
For Jeff Tate, yeah. And in case you didn't know, now you know where it is, Joe. You have no excuses for being late.
Oh, you know what? Is that the building off of 5th Street downtown in the Oregon district that has like the big neon lights on it?
Yeah, that
It's
says
kind of
Will.
Yeah.
Just says
Because
Will.
we haven't been able to get it fixed yet.
Come to
Yes.
Will.
Yeah,
Will
come
call.
to Will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I love the Oregon district, and it's totally safe. Don't believe the news.
No,
Oh
it's
yeah,
completely
yeah, yeah.
safe.
It's not what it was back in the mid '90s.
Well, I wasn't alive back then, Don. I'm not
Well,
that old.
most of these folks weren't. So, man, get out.
Joe, are you older than me?
I'm 29, actually.
Okay. You
So-
were born in 88?
Yeah.
89.
Good
There
job.
you go. Thanks.
So you were around in '95. You just weren't hitting the bars like I was.
No, I was drinking at home mostly.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. At a certain age, you just don't want to go out and party.
I mean, I knew what I
anymore. You
looked
just-
like.
Yeah.
It's the only way I could get through school, you know.
You got through
It's
school.
the only way he can get through elementary was to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to drink and get through those.
One bottle to the next, buddy.
Yeah.
That's
me.
what.
Actually, I do remember sipping one of my dad's Mickey's, Mickey High Life, whatever it's called, the hand grenade beer.
Yep.
I think it was maybe 6 or 7 to sip one of those. It was delicious.
Yeah.
No,
My
it's gross.
uncle.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's
No,
right.
my uncle, because I kept wanting to drink his beer, so finally he just said, "Well, take a drink." So I took a drink, and he was like, "Yeah, you'll never do that again." Well, little did he know.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we used to sneak drinks of my dad's beer all the time.
Yeah. Well, at the time, of course, it was.
And
really
now
gross.
there was something that finally cured me of that. See, because we had a next door neighbor that usually he always drank a different kind of beer
Sure.
than my dad. And the reason my dad did that is because he knew he wouldn't come over and steal his beer. Well, he did come over once and steal his beer, and I reached up to take a sip. This neighbor chewed tobacco,
Oh, no.
and I grabbed the wrong bottle.
Can I say that I have a very, very similar story?
Yeah,
Is
go right ahead. Let's hear it. Let's
I've-
hear your disgusting I drank neighbor's chew spit
Yeah,
story.
so I have a very similar story. All my friends dipped, to include myself, like all the way through high school, and my buddy was eating a Lunchable, and at his house, I don't know when exactly this was, but he was eating like a Lunchable, and a lot of times Capri Suns came with Lunchables. So right next to his Lunchable was a Capri Sun. Okay, I, just being goofy or something, just grabbed the Capri Sun, and what do you do with Capri Suns? You just like
You squeeze
them and squeeze the whole thing in your mouth. Well, little did I know that they were trying to hide
Right,
the dip spit.
Yeah.
And they were just spitting into the straw, and it had been used multiple days.
Oh,
Had just been
awesome.
making the
Awesome.
rounds around the house. So I squeezed into my mouth several days worth of dip spit and swallowed it because I didn't realize it didn't hit me right when because again, it's like that's how you drink Capri Suns. You just squeeze them,
Oh, no.
swallow all in one moment.
Yep, and turn green.
I
and,
threw up everywhere. I mean, it was like a scene from The Exorcist. I mean, I was just like throwing up everywhere. It's not the only time that's happened, but it was the worst time it's happened.
How is that not the only time that happened?
And I'm not kidding you when I say that every single one of my friends dipped.
yeah.
There was
and
there'd
every
be 10
time
of us.
he saw a
10
Capri
of us
Sun bag,
dipping.
he squeezed it
Every
into his
time, no,
mouth.
that was the only time it happened that way. But I have on probably a couple occasions, really, like went to drink something, a beer or something that had dip spit in it. Just happened all the time.
Oh,
See,
no.
that's
Stonehill
every
dipping and
every
nobody would pay
time.
attention.
I don't drink beer very often anymore, but every time I do, if you ever notice when I get a beer, I wipe the top and I smell it. Every
Do
time.
you?
Every
It's just
time I
from
get a
because of
beer.
that?
It's because of that, and it's because of, well, several reasons.
To be fair, I don't know if I've drank a Capri Sun since. I might have a complex.
I don't
just didn't
blame
know
you.
it.
Yep,
Oh.
I always smell my beer before I take a drink.
You have PTSDS, post traumatic dip spit.
Yeah, exactly. Post-traumatic dip syndrome.
Listen, I think Joe is really funny. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, but,
I know I'm the only one, but I think Joe's really funny.
well,
I've
hey,
only-
as long as there's one.
I've
Yeah,
only
there's
dipped
one.
once and I threw up from
Did
it.
you?
Yeah, it was terrible.
I don't
See,
dip anymore. I have in the last year. I've dipped.
Oh.
Well, I used to smoke. And,
See, that's my thing.
I
Yeah.
smoked a lot. Well, I was in high school. I'm standing back in the shadows, smoking a cigarette, and I had this one. Wasn't really a friend. He was kind of a jerk. Didn't really like him. He came around, big wad of a dip right in his bottom lip,
Uh-huh.
and he started telling me how disgusting smoking was.
Sure.
So I started laughing. I just
agree
reached
with
up
him.
and I squeezed his bottom lip. And that crap went all over his teeth and his mouth. I was like, "Yep, can't do that with a cigarette, can you?"
Well, but here's the thing, though. You can brush your teeth, can't brush your lungs.
That's true. That's
So
true. Yeah.
you got that going for you too.
Can't brush cancer out of your mouth either. So I mean,
Very true.
either way, it's
Listen,
a pretty
there's
stupid.
No, for me, it was when I was in high school. I had dipped so much that your gums erode. So I would always dip on one side and very intentionally try to erode that part. Like I said, I don't dip anymore, but I would try to erode that part of my gums so that way I could dip in school and you couldn't see it because it would be packed in down here in the bottom right where the gums are basically gone and couldn't tell. And I was fat, which helps too, because I already got fat cheeks, so you can't really tell. So yeah, that way I could just dip in school, and then it would just swallow the dip spit.
So
I mean,
yeah,
it was
I guess
or
it's
what we'd do
easier
is
than smoking in school.
we would have you would drink a Coke, you'd buy a Coke, and you would drink it down to the label, and then you would go to take a drink, and then you'd spit, and then close it. It just looks like you're drinking a Coke. Oh yeah, listen, we had the whole thing down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't dip anymore because it was a very disgusting.
See,
habit.
at least with dipping, you didn't have to have a lookout.
No,
if you're
you could
smoking, you
just-
got to have a friend
Yeah,
that doesn't
exactly.
smoke, that doesn't
and you
mind
don't
being a
smell.
lookout.
Smoking, obviously, the smell is the issue because you walk into your house and you think. Because I smoked when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was like 12, 13, like you know what I mean. I'm smoking, and you think you're so clever.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you come
Oh,
in, you have Axe body spray just all everywhere, and you walk in, and as soon as you walk in, it's funny because my dad's in law enforcement, so. As soon as I walked in, like it was never.
So you had the good weed in high school. Is what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah. I used to take his keys, go in the evidence. I'm kidding. Joking.
Yeah, sneak into the evidence room.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we move on with some more news since we talked about
Yeah.
I'm
I'm excited to
dip,
trump.
spit,
I'm going
and
to trump it.
vomiting?
He's going to own it. Let's do it.
All right, this one. I don't think this will be
Trumped or owned?
Wrong.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
no.
Sounds like a challenge, Don.
I'm not laying a gauntlet down here, but this, and I'm sure there are countless ways. This is a fun enough news story without having to trump or own it.
Okay.
But hey, you guys feel free. A self-taught rocket engineer who claims he believes the Earth is flat plans to launch himself nearly 2,000 feet in the air on a homemade steam rocket in order to prove it. Quote-unquote, mad Mike Hughes, a 61-year-old limo driver, told the Associated Press that he'll be lifting off over the California ghost town of Amboy, traveling about a mile at 500 miles per hour, reaching 1,800 feet in altitude, and then exiting via parachute. The amateur rocket scientist, which is never a good phrase.
First
That
of all,
is never a
first of all,
good thing to describe yourself as.
Spoiler alert, that's not a thing. There's no such thing as an
Right,
amateur
yeah.
rocket scientist. You either are or you aren't.
Yep. If you have to describe yourself that way,
Exactly.
just make sure you have a friend with a video camera.
Yeah.
The amateur rocket scientist has been making national headlines not just for the stunt, but for his self-professed bizarre attitude towards science given the circumstances. For one thing, his primary sponsor in the endeavor is reportedly a group called Research Flat Earth. Photos that Hughes has posted on Facebook show the words "Research Flat Earth" painted in large letters across the side of his bright red rocket. Red rocket. There is an update.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Explain it to Joe, Don. Don't leave him in the dark.
It's a South Park episode.
Okay.
There is an update to this story. Hughes has had to postpone his planned launch for the time being. He said that he was unable to obtain the required permits to launch on public land, but now plans for it to take place sometime next week on private property. So he is bound and determined to blow himself up.
I am not only...
That is dedication right there.
First of all, that has got to be the coolest way to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Very
absolutely.
And second of all,
I'm also trying to figure out what he's going to try to prove exactly.
He's going to...
How are you going to try to prove the Earth is flat?
He's going to see it. Once you get up there, there's no end to it.
Did he say 1,800 feet?
1,800 feet, yeah.
That's not very high. Yeah. Planes go 32,000.
I would stand to disagree that he is very high.
Yeah, well, no, listen.
I don't know if he doesn't believe the Earth is round. He probably doesn't believe in planes.
Right.
That's my guess.
Well, he doesn't believe in science. That's one of the statements. Well, he doesn't. That's the name they gave him. That's why he's an amateur. No, he said he does not believe in science, and that the only thing he knows about rockets and everything is he knows the physics.
Oh,
but he doesn't believe in science.
Okay.
Fortunately, physics is not science.
I'm curious, who do you go to ask for a permit to launch a rocket?
Yeah,
I can't even figure out how to get like a stoplight changed on my street. And this guy's getting denied rocket privileges.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who do you call?
That's like my dream is to get denied rocket privileges,
right?
My
dream is to be the job.
I think you can do that.
Yeah.
I think
be a boring job.
You believe in me, Don?
If we really put our minds
you
to it.
You think I can get denied rocket privileges?
I believe in you,
Don.
Kyle.
Thank you so much.
I do.
I should marry you because my wife doesn't believe in me like you do.
That's not right. That's not right. Because she should.
She really should.
Yeah. It's like she doesn't even know you.
No.
Yeah. She should believe in you, and I believe both of you can get denied rocket privileges.
Oh my gosh.
I would like that job to be able to deny people. It's probably how often
I
you get
think
to do
it
that?
would be harder to get accepted. I think Joe could through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but that's.
I would like to ride a red rocket to the moon. Is what I want to do.
Yeah, I believe you would like to ride a red rocket.
How is this the thing, by the way, that people...
Which part? Is this?
Flat Earth?
The amateur rocket
thing?
science or the flat Earth research?
I think it goes back to the... There's always going to be somebody disagreeing with the popular attitude.
Yeah.
I know, but the problem is it's not a few people at this point. Like it does seem to be really catching steam.
Yeah.
I visit
literally
now,
someone is using a steam rocket to try to disprove it. I mean, it is literally catching steam.
I've been reading a lot of conspiracy theories just out of curiosity, and the thing.
But I would say this is one of the more popular ones at this point.
It's getting there. It's gaining traction, and I just think that people feel like they've been lied to about different things here and there, and then they're like, you know what?
Which they have.
Yeah, they have. And so their logic somehow connects. They get into this echo chamber.
Well, you're creating like a false equivalency between this. If the government has lied to me about this, so therefore everything then becomes a lie.
Yeah.
So do they truly believe that the Earth is flat, or
I
just
don't think so.
or is that kind of like
I'm telling you right now,
or is that kind of like the Pastafarians? In the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monsters.
This is not the same thing.
Okay.
People genuinely...
I didn't think so. I thought that it actually was that there are some people that truly believe it.
The better question would be, do the people truly believe this, or do they just distrust the government to a point that everything that they say has become... They, right? Because it's always they. Like, who is the they in this? Who is it that specifically is lying to you?
Yeah, because that's weird, because we actually have a president that's one of the they.
Yeah.
And here's how we trump this news story.
Yeah,
we have a president that's one of the quote-unquote they.
Sure.
That makes claims about what they say.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's the they that's one of us.
That's what I'm saying. So it's the they. Well, you talk about
I can see your where you see him as brilliant, because he's one of the
that's
they
what I'm saying.
that's saying he's one of us, and look at what they're saying.
Listen,
look, if people are allowed to say the Earth is flat, I should be allowed to say my stomach is flat.
Yeah,
that's the rule.
Me too, buddy.
Absolutely,
me
absolutely.
Too.
If people can say the Earth is flat, people can say Joe Young is funny.
I'm a flat girther.
Flat girther. There you go.
That's my name.
How long ago did you think of that?
You know what? If I'm being honest, that was a Twitter joke from a few days ago, and somebody else tagged it with the flat girther, but he said I could use it.
Okay,
so
good.
Nobody's listening. It doesn't matter.
I'm very disappointed.
Flat girther,
hashtag flat girther. Somebody wants to launch a rocket around me. Go nuts.
What if they want to launch a rocket?
You want a red rocket to enter your atmosphere?
Yes, if somebody wants to explore this atmosphere.
Yeah, with your red rocket.
You want someone's red rocket to go to Uranus?
That's it.
Did I get a Uranus joke?
That's
nice.
it. Yeah, we're done. Cut the show early.
Yep. And that's it. I don't even think we need to worry about cutting the show. I think the FCC did it for us. As soon as the red rocket touched
FCC
Uranus, Joe.
You know what? If the
FCC
FCC is listening, guys, FCC, if you're listening,
they're the only ones.
Net neutrality. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, guys.
Let's talk about that.
Look,
news story.
I'm not going to pretend I understand, but it's bad.
I understand it.
It's
good. No,
bad
I
it's
think
good.
I can
It's
explain it really
I'm either
simply.
for or against it.
Right?
You know what?
There is no
explain it to
line.
me.
I think I can explain it really simply.
Have you heard
so,
of Explain It Like I'm 5?
I haven't. But I think I can explain it like you're 5.
Do it like I'm 2.5.
Yep. Show us where the net neutrality touched.
Have you seen the episode of The Office where you explain the limited sentence? Okay. So think of it this way. So when you've heard of Sling TV, correct?
Yes.
Have you heard of like Sling TV?
I believe, yes.
So it's like online television and you buy different packages. So $20 gets you the baseline. And then if you want to add ESPN and whatever else, it's $5. And they call it like the sports package. If you want to add like the Spanish news channels, it's $5. If you want to add HBO, it's $10. Right? You have all these different add-ons, but $20 is base. So what they want to do with internet is that internet is a base price. So say it's $50. You pay $50 for base. So that gets you access to most websites. However, in order to stream Netflix at a normal rate, you have to add an additional $5 to your internet bill. If you don't do that, when you stream Netflix, it'd be like streaming on 3G instead of LTE. So, and then companies like Hulu and Netflix and all these other companies, they could then pay extra money to have their stuff only streamed on certain threads on the internet, right? So it's going to be these little byways. So Netflix, the only way to access Netflix is you have to pay an extra $10 on your internet to access this byway. What it creates is that Netflix now is going to be faster than ever, because when you're streaming Netflix, it's not competing with streaming whatever else is on your internet, right? So because it's just one internet and everyone's using that one signal, right? They're going to set up individual things and you pay extra money to access it. So stuff will get faster, but everything becomes a lot more money.
I don't like money. I don't want to spend more money.
So that's what it comes down to. But it also creates this really weird thing where if you have the money, you put everybody out of business. So something like Pluto TV or Crackle. Well, Crackle's owned by Sony, but the stuff that is at Netflix that would compete with Netflix, you're basically creating a monopoly, because now they're going to be paying AT&T a whole bunch of extra money to allow their stuff to get streamed faster.
Yeah.
And then companies that are coming up, you're not going to be able to even watch it because it's going to be unwatchable. I mean, it's going to be like watching it on 3G.
So we are for net neutrality.
Yes.
And the FCC chairman's trying to get rid of it, right? Is that how
I believe, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And so what we want is whatever's happening now to stay the same. You don't want people to be able to pay companies to pay extra money and then have to charge you in turn extra money to access their content.
Yeah, no, that's dumb. I already pay way too much for internet.
Exactly.
And Netflix now costs $11.
Yeah, what's with that? It just went up and now it's going up again and they're taking away all of my shows.
They're taking all the NBC shows are leaving. NBC shows are leaving.
There are times
Disney's leaving.
If The Office leaves Netflix,
The Office is leaving.
That's a rumor. I think
I saw a thing that said like it was on Netflix.
You haven't already watched The Office?
Of course I've watched it.
Okay,
but I want to be able to watch it whenever I want.
Yeah, but
I'm a millennial.
Watch The Office all the time. I go home on lunch and I literally just watch The Office. I've seen every episode 10 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a millennial, which means I just want what I want.
Yeah, you just want to watch the one thing. You don't want to expand your horizons any.
I'm a millennial. I want
every now and then listen to a
radio
radio show you don't normally listen to. Things like that, Joe. Is that what you're trying to say? You know, sometimes I wish Al Gore didn't even invent the internet.
Yeah, right?
Oh, Al Gore. Remember when he was our biggest, the joke of a president?
Yeah.
Boring talk and his global warming, hippie, internet nonsense.
We had the personality of a frying pan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They always remind me of Huckleberry Hound.
How smart, though, to come up with inconvenient truth. It's the smartest thing in the world.
Yeah. He won awards.
No, because it's not only that, but no matter what, he's right.
Yeah,
no matter
true.
what
that's
happens.
True.
Because if he releases this movie, okay, if nothing happens, okay, if in 50 years everything is perfectly fine, the quote global temperature stays the same, nothing changes.
Then it was because his movie changed people's behavior.
If in 50 years the ocean is flooding,
then he can say, "I told you so."
Boom! Yeah. No matter what he wins.
Man, we went from talking about how brilliant Trump is to what an evil genius mastermind Al Gore is.
There you go.
That's incredible.
Listen, guys, I got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Just tune into the Kyle political
Kyle
show.
Steele for president.
2052.
President Dipspit.
Yeah.
As opposed to President. Oh, okay.
That's what DP stands for.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. 61-year-old Florida man, Bruce John Homer. Never trust a man with 3 first names.
Never.
Bruce John Homer was so driven to prove a busy intersection in his neighborhood was unsafe that police said he purposely crashed his truck into an SUV to make the point. Homer told Lake County Sheriff's
Sounds like
deputies.
what Al Gore would do.
Homer told Lake County Sheriff's deputies after his Sunday smash-up, people are always running the stop sign at this intersection, and since you guys don't do anything about it, I did. Yeah, he ran into some... The SUV driver told deputies he was going through the intersection in Claremont when Homer's truck pulled out in front of him. The motorist said Homer then walked up to him and said, "You ran the stop sign, and this is the 10th accident at this intersection, and they won't do anything until someone dies." Which sounds to me like a threat. Exactly.
Sounds like a challenge.
Won't do anything till somebody dies, so it's going to have to be you. The deputy said Homer took credit for the crash, and it may not have been his first. He told investigators that he and his wife almost crashed at the same intersection a couple weeks ago. He even admitted that he, quote, ran some guy off the road after I saw him blow through the intersection. So
Wow.
I think he's the reason the
He's the most
intersection is
dangerous
so
part of the
unsafe.
intersection.
That guy sounds like he believes the earth is flat.
Yeah.
He would. Yeah, he would. He
He
believes
is a
the earth
flat
is
girther
flat
for sure.
and that the intersection is dangerous, and it's not all because of him.
Wow. People go to a lot of links. In my neighborhood, they just had an annoying petition for a stop sign. This is a way more effective way of...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if he got his
absolutely.
way.
I would say probably
Call him
not.
up, Don.
I would say, well, no, we can't call everybody on the show.
I'm still waiting for V3 to call.
Yeah,
him.
where's V3 at?
Where's V3 at? I guess he doesn't want his airtime today. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. So, yeah, John, what was his full name? See,
Something Homer.
Yeah, something Homer, which is great. John, who gives a crap? Okay, Catholic school in Australia has covered up a statue of a saint giving a loaf of bread to a boy after complaints that it was too suggestive.
I saw that.
The statue of Saint Martin de Porres at Blackfriars Priory School in suburban Adelaide shows the bread being held at crotch level, and the smiling boy gazes up with his hand reaching for the loaf.
Reaching for the loaf is the name of my comedy album.
Yeah.
Nice.
Principal of the school, Simon Kobiak, said in an apology posted on Facebook, quote, "The two-dimensional concept plans for the statue were reviewed and approved by the executive team in May, but upon arrival, the three-dimensional statue was deemed by the same executive team to be potentially suggestive. And if you saw a picture, you'd know exactly what I was talking about."
Oh, yeah.
Joe saw that picture. It brought back memories.
I saw it, and I surprised because they're normally really good. The Catholic Church is normally really good at covering things up. I'm surprised it took them so long.
Yeah,
Good job.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you, Joe. That was good.
That was a good one. That was a good
Thank you, guys. Wiley's
Joe
Comedy
Young.
joint this Friday and Saturday with headliner Jeff Tate.
And if you find,
he's been on here for an hour and a half, and he just said something funny
was
too.
it. That
So
was his first good
he's
joke.
warming up.
listen, if you find me even remotely funny, you should come out December 7th.
Oh yeah, to the
yeah,
Face Off.
Wiley's Comedy Club.
yeah.
We're
got
gonna
all
switch
kinds of things
faces.
going on.
We're gonna
Yeah.
Joe and I are gonna switch faces and
Now, are you introducing the show with comedy as you've done before?
No,
Joe
I,
Robinette is.
Joe Robinette is okay. So you got the funny Joe to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
we
And
went
the
we
other Joe
went
to say-
double Joe,
Yeah.
and I figured we had Joe open up before at our last one.
This Joe.
Yeah, this
Right,
Joe
right.
Joe Young opened up for us last time, and Joe Robinette guested. And
So you just switched.
we
you traded
we
Joes.
watched Joe Young's comedy set and went, let's go ahead and switch it.
Yeah. Let's have him sit for this show. Let's have Joe Robinette.
Let's have him sit.
Yeah.
Let's sit this one out.
Yeah.
This is great promotion.
Yeah, absolutely. We love you, Joe. Everybody loves Joe,
Oh gosh.
and you too.
Oh, I see what you did there, Don.
Everybody loves Joe Robinette.
Oh, the things I would say if you didn't own the club.
Yeah. Hey, I don't just trust me. I don't have any say in who gets booked there, Joe. So
Oh, I could tell by the fact that I'm on the show.
exactly. No, if I was booking the show, I'd book you at least once.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I mean the radio show.
Oh, there we go. There it is.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna take a break, and Joe's gonna.
We gotta take a break from these zingers.
Yeah, Joe needs a Kleenex, and I probably do too. Different reasons.
All right, we're gonna test this Red Rocket theory.
Yeah, on that note,
DP.
watch out for your Red Rocket. We'll be back here shortly. Here's this week's Comedy Rundown, brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's historic Oregon District. Call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for all the best in Dayton comedy. Thursday, December 7th, the Nicolas Cage Movie Review Hour podcast is recording live at Wiley's Comedy Club. Thursday through Sunday, December 7th through the 10th, Drew Lynch is going to be at the Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Friday, December 8th, the Comedy Showcase is at Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street. And Saturday, December 9th, Todd McComas is going to be at Wiley's Comedy Club. And Sunday, December 10th, the Comics Hang and Workshop, that's at Wiley's Comedy Club at 5 p.m., followed by Wiley's annual Toy Drive Comedy Show at Wiley's Comedy Club. That starts at 8 p.m. That is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com and DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows. Also, be sure to check out Unwritten Podcasts from Dayton Writers Movement, available at unwrittenpodcast.com.
The weekdays are made for working, but the weekends, those are made for gaming. Join Ellison Smith every Saturday for a new episode of Saltwater Gaming as he breaks down video games of all different genres, consoles, platforms, and eras. Get a bit of the old and a bit of the new, a bit of the action and a bit of the mystery. Get it all every Saturday on Saltwater Gaming, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
All right, we're back.
It's a good way to start. It's a good way to start.
Yeah, at least we're starting off with a bang this time. We're back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. We just, I almost said my name wrong. Isn't that something? It's like I don't even listen to the podcast.
My name is Glenn Stone.
Yeah.
It's been one of those days.
We're back with Joe Young and Kyle Steele. See, I got you guys' name right. I forgot who the hell I was.
Clive Stevens.
Yep, Clive Stevenson and Andrew Andrews. So I don't know.
This whole thing has just been a dumpster fire. Should Joe and I just take control? We should switch seats.
Yeah, somebody needs to. Somebody needs to get me out of here.
Joe, you can sit on my lap. And we'll just both
I don't want to sit on his chair.
Yeah.
What's wrong? What's wrong there, Red Rocket?
Obvious reasons.
He's going to sit on your lap, though. So
hey, I'm not complaining.
Going on in here anyway. Speaking of which, a family made an unusual discovery inside the bathroom of their North Seattle apartment on Friday. A snake was hiding in their toilet.
Don, you have given up.
I've given up.
Didn't even try.
We're not even going to try
to introduce that we're going to do a news.
No,
just went into it.
Went right
just
into
gave
it.
Up.
KOMO TV reports that the family called police after a child found the 4-foot-long snake inside the apartment in the Lake City neighborhood.
That wasn't
Officers helped remove the snake, and personnel with the Pacific Northwest Herpetology, that has nothing to do with herpes, Joe. Society, I called and asked. Society picked it up.
He says I called and asked.
It's called an asp, is what I said. Society officials say the snake appears to be a ball python, a non-venomous constrictor that is popular pet among reptile fans.
A bald python, huh?
Not bald. A ball python. It was in the toilet.
I thought you said a bald python.
Yes, it's a bald python.
A non-venomous constrictor?
Yep, I find one of those in my toilet every time I sit down.
Yeah. My nickname in high school was Balls Python. Why is this a news story? A guy found a snake.
Guy finds snake.
I guess it was because it was in their toilet. And yeah.
Don, I like how Don goes, I was in the toilet. It's good news.
Yeah. We'll put it on there.
Hey.
If anything's in the toilet, it's this show.
A little bit of toilet news never hurt anybody.
I'm just going to change the name. It's no longer the Life. This is Toilet Water Radio Show.
Toilet news.
Yeah, toilet news here on the Life.
Let's just flush that story down.
Yeah, let's flush it. Hey! Toilet pun.
I see what you tried to do there. A Cold War era missile silo in rural northeast Kansas. This has nothing to do with Red Rocket.
I know. I'm trying to think everything is becoming a pun.
That housed a nuclear warhead 65 years ago and was later converted to an underground mansion, is now finding a new lease on life as an Airbnb location. The Subterra Castle Airbnb opened for business about 6 months ago. It's located in rural Wabansie County, about 15 miles southeast of Topeka.
I like new lease on life.
Yes. Airbnbs are privately owned residents that offered online for short-term rental. The Topeka, we don't need it. We know what the hell they are. Matthew Falkerson. Falcon. 37 years old. Falk. Settle down, censors. Is the host of... I'm done. We're just done.
You have just
anyway, Airbnb on a frickin'
underground mansion.
It sounds like a pretty cool Airbnb to stay in.
It does. I would love to.
It does.
I would absolutely do it.
Would have been cooler if they still had the missile.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd launch myself up 1,800 feet and prove that the world is flat. That's what I'd do.
Have you guys ever stayed in an Airbnb?
I have not.
I have not.
It's not bad.
Is it? Is it just somebody's house? Is it just
there's different ones. You can
sometimes it's stuff that people own.
Sometimes you actually stay with somebody or you share it. You can pick spaces. Though, and the one I stayed at was actually
you can pick who you stay with.
No, you can pick if it's a shared space.
Okay.
Like you can rent out a room of your house technically as an Airbnb.
Yeah. So they come in the front door. You're like, hey, what's up? Your room's over there, and you hang out, watch movies.
It's weird. That part's weird to me. I don't like that.
That's,
But
See,
a little weird.
that's what I would do. I would rather do that.
really?
I'm a pretty social person,
Oh man,
so I like the idea of that.
the
Meeting new
complete
people.
opposite. I stayed at one
We can all tell.
in Nashville.
It
and
was in the basement, and it was right up his alley.
Yeah,
He just hung out there the whole time playing Red Rocket.
yeah. It was right up your anus.
What are you doing down there? I'm trying to prove the Earth is flat.
Yeah. Come on, Red Rocket.
We're going
I need 10 to 15 minutes. Thanks.
1,800 feet.
Oh,
But no, it's
man.
cool. The one I stayed at was it was like half of a house, and I had my own private bathroom, and it was private, and it was real quiet.
Well, that wouldn't be bad.
Nobody stayed in the other half. They showed up late at night. I was sitting on the front porch smoking, and they showed up.
What were you smoking?
They showed up, and I freaked out. I was very paranoid. And these people
Oh,
showed
you were
up.
paranoid, so we
yeah.
know what you were smoking.
It was like
Gotcha,
10 o'clock at night, and I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm by myself, and all these people. Suddenly, these people show up, and they probably thought I was super weird because I just went inside.
Oh no, yeah.
And I couldn't get
Yeah.
the blinds closed, so here I am. I'm staring at the window, trying to close the blinds, and I end up just making eye contact with them as I'm trying to close the blinds.
That's
Yeah,
really
and your
good.
hands
That's
were
really
all
funny.
slippery from the Vaseline. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, they might have thought you were a little strange.
If you're out there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had the ball python was.
Yeah. Oh, man. A reported fire in a Hamburg basement.
I love Don is just going through the motions.
I've
Just
been
going
doing that
through
for
the
2
motions.
hours here. Oh, man. I was just going to play a recorded interview and just say the hell with it. While you guys sit here.
That might be what you do anyway.
Yeah,
It's
a
nice,
report.
it's nice to be on the last episode of the life.
No, it's just,
Probably
this,
is.
the finale.
We're just done.
This is the series finale. It's really been really fun.
Yep, I had my nervous breakdown. It happened on the air, and we just all act like nothing happened.
Yeah, well, that's what we've been doing this whole time. As
Yeah,
you've been having a nervous
exactly.
breakdown.
Well, fortunately, all the listeners are acting like nothing happened because they're not listening.
Don, give us a news story.
Oh, I have some of those.
Yeah, dude.
That's weird. They're right here in my hand.
Make it happen.
A reported fire in a Hamburg basement turned out to be a false alarm after firefighters determined that the smell of burning came from an alternative therapy being used at a neighboring gynecological clinic. The fire department said Thursday they received a call at lunchtime Wednesday about a strong burning smell from the basement of a clothing store in the northern German city's St. Pauli district. When the crew of 16 firefighters arrived, said they also smelled the odor but couldn't find the source in the basement. Upon further investigation, they determined that the smell came from an incense therapy for pregnant women in the neighboring gynecological clinic.
I've heard of fire crotch before.
But not fire babies.
Yes.
Yes, that's...
Interesting.
It took 16 firefighters
To determine
to
that
trace
incense was
down
burning.
that gynecological clinic.
Wow. That is a train.
Yeah.
Imagine how those women felt when 16 firefighters came bursting into their clinic.
I imagine they felt really good about it.
Oh, yeah. That's...
Hormones are up too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, you talk about a burning smell. Whew.
is that a stroke joke? Is that what happens when you have a stroke? You smell burnt toast?
I think I'm having one right now.
Yeah,
Do you
it
smell
could
burnt
be.
toast?
Well, I'm
It's
glad,
fer-
I'm
that's
glad it's on
fertilizer,
the
Joe.
air.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm glad it's on the air that you're having your stroke because that's... I mean, you might as well get some attention before you go.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do it. I just hope I can type with one hand. I can tweet.
It'll make it go viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
What are you doing with the other? Oh, because of this. I gotcha. Sorry, a different stroke.
Oh, there it is.
There has been a lot of masturbation puns today.
Is that what they are?
That's what they are. Yeah,
just puns, Joe. Just puns.
just puns.
Police in Paris say a tiger escaped from a circus in the city and roamed the streets of the French capital for some time, quote unquote, some time,
Yeah,
before being killed.
it's like they.
Police said the big cat was neutralized, again, quotes, neutralized by a staff member from the circus near a bridge over the River Seine.
AKA murdered.
About 2 kilometers from the Eiffel Tower. Police authorities tweeted, "All danger is over," alongside a tiger emoticon. Because that's...
That is not. Did I not learn anything from Harambe?
It's not very sensitive.
A Paris police official who spoke on condition of anonymity confirmed that the tiger had been loose for, quote, some time Friday, but said there had been no reports of injuries or casualties. if you are a police official speaking about a tiger being on the loose in the city of Paris
For some time.
Can you really speak on condition of anonymity?
I mean,
you're a police official. It's your job to handle this.
I don't know how police work in other.
I wouldn't think you could.
We have the thought police.
Yep. Yeah, we shot the tiger. Don't tell anybody who I am. I don't really think he was a police official. Because the police didn't even take the tiger out. It was somebody from the circus that went and got it.
Huh.
The police didn't even do anything. So, yeah, they were just, I'm not going out there as a tiger. Are you crazy?
Can you just
guys, that wasn't a Frenchman. That was Don doing.
Hey, don't tell him. I wanted him to think somebody called in from Paris.
Okay.
To tell us
sorry, I didn't mean to spoil it.
You ruined the whole thing.
So sorry.
You ruined everything. Get off my show.
So sorry.
No, heck with it. I'm off my show.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. Two animal rights activists
Just goes into it.
disrupted the Utah governor's Thanksgiving pardoning of a turkey on last Tuesday, apparently. Otherwise, it'd be too late. Now they're just a passing of the turkey. As anyway, the two animal rights activists.
Passing the Turkey is the name of my comedy album. What was the one earlier?
And
I don't know what it
be. You should write all these down.
I know. What was the other one? I had said one earlier.
I'm not pinching the loaf.
I think that's what it was.
Reaching for the
loaf.
Oh, wow.
We made Don do a breathy laugh. That's always good.
He's just very out of shape.
I just,
He just can't breathe.
He might
just
be able
breathing
to
heavy
finish.
from adjusting my chair.
I'm having a stroke. He's having a heart attack.
Listen, that happens to me all the time. I have these moments or like I'm walking with someone and then we like take the stairs and like they're very healthy, but it's like 3 sets of stairs and you get to the third one and then they're like, so something. I'm like,
yep, you're still on the first floor.
That's good. Or no,
go on.
I'm with them, but I'm doing that like I'm doing the fat talk where I'm like, yeah, it's where you're like you can't even really.
You're trying to act like
I'm
you're
trying not to breathe heavy. I'm
just
going, like I'm like trying to control it. Yeah, no, it happens to me It's happened to me more than once recently.
I believe it.
I'm very fat, Don.
Same here.
Joe?
Yep, Joe, how about you?
You were fat.
I used to be
What's your
fat.
secret? How did you lose so much weight? What did you do?
Counting calories.
Is that all that it was?
That was all it was. I lost about 50 pounds doing that, and then I lost the last 40 with still doing that and exercise.
So to get started, really,
and meth.
Ate
You
less.
used a lot.
Ate less.
Just ate less?
Ate less, counted all your calories. I gotta say, though.
That works?
It does. It's
Wow.
not worth. I don't know if it's worth it. I really
should
don't.
try
I'm
that.
It's
cold.
almost like losing weight is as simple as intaking less calories than you are burning.
Yes,
That's all it is.
but it's.
There are so many people that have searched for that secret for
I know, that's
years.
really all it is.
People spend their whole life.
I used to be in really good shape, but it has.
Oh, what happened?
Because I've
I had
heard
a couple
that.
kids. I haven't lost the baby weight yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your wife did though.
She did. And what's weird is that I also gained a lot of baby weight before they were ever conceived. So
I see.
it's a little odd how that happened.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if I like being skinnier. It's weird. I'm cold all the time.
you do look very weird. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
and-
look sickly.
Yeah. There's that, and then
Everyone
that's
always
why
says that, Joe.
that's why I
and now
always
everybody
make the
has
chemo
everybody has an
jokes.
opinion on my body.
Joe, let me just say, everybody always makes tons of jokes about how you look sickly and everything. And I want to be it's because it's absolutely true.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I work at a hospital, and a lot of the times the patients are like, give that guy the medicine. Like, I don't need it. Just give it to him.
Yep. Poor old man gets up and says, "You can take my bed, son."
Yeah. It's weird losing weight because people don't tell you how fat you are until you lose weight. They're like, "Bam, woof, you lost a lot of weight." Like I told somebody, they asked me, "How'd you lose weight?" I said, "Well, I just ate less." And they're like, "That's it?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, how much were you eating?"
Right?
Like, "Oh, hey, you too, buddy."
I have a question. When you started eating less, did you really feel like you were eating a lot less than you were before?
Yeah.
So you noticed like, oh my Lord, like I really was eating a lot.
Yeah, and I still have days where I'll go back to my old ways, but I still, even my bad days are a lot better than they used to be.
Sure.
Just because I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, there isn't room for it now.
Right, yeah.
Hey, you shrink your stomach?
See, I've heard for years that eating less was the secret to losing weight, and I didn't believe him.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to start eating more,
Yeah.
and start losing weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you
I'm
could
I
do
plan
what
on-
Dale Blumquist did because he went on the KFC diet.
Oh.
He had a bucket of KFC a day, and he lost a lot of weight doing that.
Is it because that's all he ate?
Because with KFC, you always put out more than you intake.
Sure.
See, because I can eat a bucket of KFC, and I'm not out of the bathroom for a week.
Is this a true story?
KFC, oh, yeah. KFC does
I don't
bad
eat fried
things to
chicken,
me.
so that's not a thing I'm into. But
Well, I can hit Lee's is awesome. KFC is
my
just
goal
terrible.
is to try to prove, because I agree with you, Don. I want to prove people wrong that you can eat whatever you want,
Right.
and basically until my heart explodes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
build
plan
this
on
rocket.
proving people wrong.
I'm going to build this rocket.
I want to
try
build this
prove
rocket.
them
I'm
wrong,
going to flat girther. Is this the flat
Yeah.
girth?
We have
like-
come
Yes.
full circle.
We have come
Yes,
full.
That's
full
what
girth.
we do. That's what we do. This show's been
Full
so
orbit.
bad. I'm trying to go back to the beginning of it and cancel it out. That's we just need to stop before we even start talking.
Joe, you inspire me, sir. I want. I really want to lose weight.
Well, thank you. I
I
appreciate
need
it.
that, man. I need it.
It's
I got
really
2 kids. I'd like to be around for them.
it's not
my
that
goal.
hard, to be honest. Like there's
Sure.
days
As
where
opposed to
it's-
being around for them.
Yes.
Yes. There it is, Don. Don't do that one again.
Don't worry.
It's weird.
Don't
'cause
worry. I
do,
won't be on the air anymore after today.
I do work in
They
a
might
hospital,
fire me, but I'm definitely going to quit either way.
and I do have a lot of repeat patients, and some of them have seen me for years. And they came in, and one guy, he said, his eyes were huge. He said, "You've lost a lot of weight," and he ended up having me tell him what I did, and I had to I'm not a doctor. Like, please don't tell people I told you this because I don't want him to get sick or something. Because it's not necessarily healthy.
Right.
I don't eat good. I just eat less.
Sure.
Like I
See,
still eat
I'm
like
just
a piece
glad
of
to hear
crap.
you have repeat patients
Yeah.
because you don't have repeat audience members. So.
Oh, there it is.
Got him.
I'm just kidding, Joe. You know I love you.
Ba-ba-da-da-da-da.
We're going to do one more news story,
Please.
Okay.
and then we're going to wrap a little early today.
Okay.
Just because
Are we gonna wrap?
Wrap
we
it up.
should have.
V3
We're
coming?
this show starts at noon. We should have ended it about
11:59.
11:45.
Yeah. That's how some of these like Nick Cage movies are, where you're like, "How could you make
Yes,
this movie
this-
better?" You're like,
this
"Oh,
is
don't
like-
make it." That's how you make it.
This
better.
is like Nicolas Cage radio.
Yes.
Today as well. It's just really bad. Poorly
by the way,
acted.
I've been workshopping that
yeah,
for Jack. What's that new radio station? Like Jack something.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well,
I
I'm
don't-
shopping it to them.
I don't listen to
Nicolas
radio.
Cage radio.
Oh, really? Awesome. An Oregon woman whose inmate boyfriend died from a meth-laden kiss after a prison visit was sentenced to 2 years behind bars Tuesday for a drug conspiracy charge. Melissa Ann Blair and Anthony Powell shared a long kiss at the end of the visit last year at the Oregon State Penitentiary, and she passed 7 tiny balloons filled with methamphetamine into his mouth. Two of the balloons ruptured in Powell's stomach a short time later, and he died of methamphetamine toxicity. U.S. District Judge Marco Hernandez said Blair's actions were part of a scheme devised by Powell and others to get drugs inside the prison. There was a dispute as to whether Blair participated of her own free will, but Powell shared responsibility for his own death. So, they were trying to get drugs into the prison, and
They did.
seven bags.
Is that a lot?
I don't know.
I'd
I'm not
imagine
much
it's
up.
quite a bit.
I'd imagine it's quite a bit.
How did she?
She would have had to sneak them in, swallowed.
Someone
Mark
just yelled.
Zuckerberg,
Mark Zuckerberg.
exactly. That's how does he relate to? She ran off, so we get no explanation.
Someone just
of that.
screamed
So, yes.
Mark Zuckerberg right out the
Yes.
door. I also accidentally cleared my throat into the microphone. I
That's
started
okay.
to clear
okay.
my throat, and then that happened, so I didn't move away from the
Are you
microphone.
trying to get the meth out?
My apologies.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
He's
trying to get
got
the
that.
meth out.
He's going to pass it on to you
It's
because
probably-
that was actually our plan the whole time was to get meth
Get me meth.
into the radio station.
I would imagine because when you do meth, you don't have any teeth, so she probably it was pretty easy to sneak a bit of those bags in her mouth without teeth.
Yeah, that's,
She just put 'em in
that's
the hole-
probably
like in
how
the holes
the two
where their
ruptured.
teeth were.
That's how the 2 bags ruptured. Is it hit one of those snaggly things hanging down in the middle and it just busted them right
Yeah,
open.
Mark Zuckerberg.
And Mark Zuckerberg went ahead and swallowed the meth to try to sneak it inside of Facebook.
Oh God,
We
This
figured
show-
Don,
it started with
you're
fertilizer.
losing it, Don.
This whole
we have
thing.
lost it.
Don't let me in with you.
Oh, it's too late for that. It's all recorded.
They.
You were a part of this, Kyle.
They.
But the way this has gone, I'm assuming you forgot to record it.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
Nope, fake news. It's all been recorded.
All right.
Who gets the trophy?
It's good.
The trophy is right behind you.
Well, I heard, yeah.
It's the ashes.
Yeah, that's the
Somebody's
chili
ashes.
cook-off trophy.
It's the ashes of somebody who wishes that he died sooner. So he
Yes.
didn't have to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Or he wishes
terrible.
he didn't have him place his ashes in here because his spirit is just disgusted by us
I want your
right
ashes in a college radio station.
Hey,
now. Hey, to each their own ashes.
Don. It's a teach their own ashes.
I don't even know.
I want my
at this
ashes
point.
put in a Capri Sun.
I want my ashes
For
swallowed
Kyle
right
to
now.
be swallowed by Kyle.
Oh,
Yeah.
my Lord.
All right. Does anybody even want to plug anything at this point?
I
Do we
don't.
have-
My goal is not be connected with this in any way
Okay.
possible.
Well, it's too late for that.
You know what? Actually, I do have something. Actually, this weekend, Friday and Saturday, I'm at Wiley's Comedy Club.
Now, Wiley's, where's that?
It is in the Oregon District. It's the building off to the side with bright neon lights on it. It's the radio station is above it, and you can see it from the bars you drink at. And
Yeah,
you
so
can
get good and drunk.
get good and
Stagger
drunk.
on down to Wiley's.
stagger on down. If you told me that, if you say you were heard me on the life,
Sorry.
I will give you
couldn't hold that.
$100.
I'll buy your ticket if you say that. Because I want people to enjoy the show. I'm just a small part of it. The headliner, Jeff Tate, is very funny. He's been on TV before. He tours with Doug Benson and Doug Stanhope, which are very funny comedians. And if you enjoy the show, if you like comedy, follow me on Twitter, Joe Young Comedy, and check out a show sometime. Even if it's not to see me, just go see a show at a club. Comedy clubs all over America are dying. They're closing. And that kind of sucks. So go see a show sometime.
We would like
Because-
to keep Wiley's open for
Yeah.
sure.
it doesn't have to be
absolutely.
the one I'm on. I don't really care about that. Just go to a
He'll
show.
be on next week, too.
I'll be on next week too. I'm there a lot because
Because it's Wiley's.
it's Wiley's.
Yeah,
It's the oldest
absolutely.
comedy club in Ohio. So I want to keep it that way. So yeah, thanks for having me on, Don.
Hey, thanks for coming on, Joe. I wish I could say it's been fun. This has been an odd experience for me
Yeah.
today. You can't have a great show every week.
It's been real. It's been
And
fun. But
I
can't
wish
say
I
it's
had
been
a
real
great
fun.
show one week.
Yeah. Still searching for it. Good
Yeah,
luck.
it's going to happen. I feel it.
Get better
I have
guests.
faith.
That would
I
help.
have faith that someday I will have a great radio show, and I just hope I live to see it.
Yeah. The trick is to not have Joe and I on at the same time.
Yeah, I think I'm going to I'm going to have to rethink my guest list. And,
I won't do this show again.
well, like I said, you're
no worries.
damn right about that. You are absolutely right, Joe.
I think this is my
I
fourth.
made that decision an hour ago.
I think this is my fourth time on here. Don, there's some words I have for you, but they cannot be legally broadcast.
Yeah.
So
We'll wait till we get off
Hey,
air.
yeah, tell me off the air.
yeah, we'll talk about that.
Joe, thanks for coming in. Kyle, always a pleasure. Always, definitely,
It's always something.
definitely always. We will probably not see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Life Podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can always stream the show live at wwsu1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments for the show, feel free to email us at thelife1069@gmail.com.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
Yeah, with your red rocket.
With
You want
my-
someone's red rocket
Yeah.
to go to Uranus?
That's it.
Did I get a Uranus joke?
That's
Nice.
it. Yeah, we're
Yep.
done. Cut the show
Yep,
early.
yep, and that's it.